In 2005 in Philadelphia, PA, a female basketball star celebrated her 4th annual gala for her foundation. Her name is Dawn Staley. She is now the highest-paid women's basketball coach in history. At her Dawn Staley Foundation gala, many important dignitaries were in attendance. In this moment, we will share the lens with a Philadelphia boxing legend, the undisputed middleweight champ Bernard Hopkins. Watch as he tells a story of triumph through unfortunate circumstances. Filmed by Jermaine Quick of illadelstyles Entertainment.
I'm just going to try to be real brief, and hopefully y'all can, hear me. But first, I'd like to thank my wife for 14 years being married and 16 years being together, and I like to connect. And Rudy Battles and Maria Battles, who's known me. Rudy Battles is a well-known, the best referee in the world. Rudy Battles at the table also. And I'm going to mention Rudy again. I don't want to pin on the spot, but there's a reason I'm going to mention him as I try to not be too long. But I want to say about the Dawn Staley Foundation. It's something that, inspired me to be more active in the city of Philadelphia along with the youth. My past is well documented through boxing and through people that followed me for years and written about Bernard Hopkins. It goes to show that Dawn Staley's of the world, Bernard Hopkins of the world, coming out of North Philadelphia, which I've had my experience in Diamond Street, Raymond Rosen projects. So we have a lot in common. And one of the things that we have in common is we come up out of North Philadelphia. And coming out of North Philadelphia, which most people here, if not all, know the area of North Philadelphia, whether now or 10 or 15 years ago, wasn't a beautiful suburban looking place. To survive that against all odds, and to know that the way it looks and the way it is talked about, very few, I guess good things come out of situations of bad areas and neighborhoods. But my thought is to let people know that even Dawn Staley and Bernard Hopkins and a lot of other people that we are not here now, the goal is to show you that the neighborhoods or wherever you live across the world don't have to be the future, no matter what's out there on the corner, no matter what's out there in front of your face, that I and Dawn Staley didn't make that our future. And our future is what we made in hard work, and a lot of prayer, and a lot of sacrificing and endurance. And that's what young people have to realize. And that's what I continue to tell them over and over again when they ask me many times, how did you do it? How did you come from a 9th grade education, 5 years at 17 years old to 23 in the state penitentiary of Grateford? How did you come home in 1988 at 22 years old with a GED and became the undisputed middleweight champion in the world? How did you do it? I answered it with this. Not only with hard work and determination not to go back and repeat the same ignorance that I always was accustomed of falling into that trap of negative thinking, is that I had a goal. And my goal was not to go back first. And being who I am now came from hard work. But if you were to ask me 20 plus years ago, after walking off 8 to 9 years of strict parole without a parking ticket, and became who I am at in spite of, I say to them that my only dream was not to go back as a repeated offender. The odds was against me. 8 felonies, GED, but one thing I knew, that I had the power to not to repeat. what I've done early in my life. And then I started my career. And when I started my career with positive thinking and positive training, I was tested. And I was tested with my first defeat as a professional fighter, doing all the right things in life. Changed my life. But that was the turning point of Bernard Hopkins saying, look, this is a test. And I bounced back, and I came back a year and a half later, and I ran off 23 straight wins without a loss again until I met Roy Jones in '93. I had that taste of defeat again, which I looked at as another adversity, another test. I've been through the hard times. And since 1993, my second loss, which I didn't take lightly, I promised myself that I would fight and train and discipline myself and learn from my falls. And since 1993, May 22nd, in RFK Stadium, lost a decision to Roy Jones Jr., which is a non-embarrassing thing because Roy is considered a great fighter today. I went on to become the only fighter that has been undefeated over a decade. Since 19... I say that to say that the determination of adversity, learn by it, don't repeat, don't get comfortable with losing. You hear the saying that losing is a part of life and coming in second is a part of life only if you accept it. If you don't accept it, then it's not a part of my life. Because my life is to be the best, and knowing that if I didn't do the best things that I know I could do at that particular time, that I'm going to try the next time. And that's in life, period. And since 1993, I've kept that promise that I won't lose in the ring on my feet. And since then, I've ran off 20 straight title defenses, broke every shadow record that was existed in boxing. And at 40 years old, and 3 fights away from my retirement, I'm glad, I thank God that it's a blessing that I can stand up here and talk without stuttering. Dawn Staley and the foundation, because like I said earlier, is that Dawn Staley inspired me, believe it or not, it's from my heart, to understand that once we make it out, that we have to come back, and our presence means a lot. It's not all about all the time writing out a check going, you get it like I get it. People want to, we can write out checks all day long, but it won't solve the problem. Our presence is very important in North Philly, and South Philly, and West Philly, and Philadelphia. Our presence is what motivates the young youth and some of the older ones that need to get on their game. Because they're watching the older ones just as well as they're watching people on the street. And if you preach one way and your action speaks another way, to them you become a hypocrite. And they are not foolish and they're not stupid. So remember, what we say, our actions got to reflect what we do. Thank you. This is the light heavyweight champion, undisputed, the best, Illadelstyles, Philly in the house.